Hello everyone, and compliment of this season, I bring you good tidings, and I must say I'm excited to have you on my channel today. If you watched my previous video, you would definitely recognize this pattern. Yes, we'll be making 720 degrees peplum flare with them. Let's start after this break. So here are the pattern we cut out in my previous video, and today we'll be joining them up as I promised. Quickly, let me explain further what I did. So I've just added ½ inch on each side of the pattern, except for the side and the zipper allowance where I added 1 inch. Okay, so every other part of it I added ½ inch. For the front pattern, which is CF, I cut it on fold. Okay, and I've cut one piece of this and one piece of the lining fabric. Then for the SF, I added 2 inches seam allowance to the side to complement for the dart allowance we took at the front. Let me mention that you can alter this pattern to suit whatever you want to make. Like someone asked if you can make a 3-piece cup with this. Yes, you can. What you need to do is to measure from the top 2 inches or 1.5, depends on what you want. Okay, so when you measure it like so, you connect the lines to your ruler. Such that you cut this part off. When you cut it off, you now align it. You can use a tape, okay? You align it with a tape. Then it forms one hole, and this side forms the 2 parts, okay? That's just the way to achieve that. But we're not going to be doing that in this video. I've ironed on interfacing on each of this pattern. You should have 4 pieces of the C pattern, and you should have 4 pieces of the S pattern as well. Then for the back piece, you should also have 2 pieces of the main fabric and 2 pieces of the lining. For the CF, you should have 1 piece of the main fabric and 1 piece of the lining if cut on fold. Then for the SF, you should have 2 pieces of the main fabric and 2 pieces of the lining fabric. Each of this fabric will be cut facing each other, as in opposite direction, like so. So let me show you on the pattern so that you understand what I'm doing. So this is the S and this is the C. I'm going to align them like so, okay, to that side and so it. So I'm going to do this on each of these patterns. We're going to cut 2 times of 360 degrees flare. That means a round flare is 360 degrees. So we're going to cut 2 of that. So the way we're going to achieve that is, first we're going to fold our fabric into 2. Then we'll fold it again. So now we'll have 4 layers of the fabric. Then we're going to further fold it again. So we're working with a waist circumference of 34 inches. We're going to divide 34 inches by 2. We're going to have 17 inches. Now, to apply 17 inches on the waistline, we're going to divide that 17 inches by 6.28. So we can just approximate that to 3 inches or 2.8, okay? So let's just use 3 inches. Normally, we're supposed to use 3 inches to measure the circumference, the radius of this flare. But since I'm going to pleat it, I'll have to make it wider than that, so that by the time I pleat, I will achieve the fullness I want, okay? So I'll just add an extra 2 inches to that, which is 5 inches. So it depends on how many pleats you want or how you want to pleat yours. You can determine the figure you want to add to that, okay? So I'm just measuring 5 inches all around the waistline to achieve my waist circumference, okay? So I'll just connect these points. Then I'm going to apply the length I would want the peplum to be. So I'll be working with a peplum of 8.5 inches, and I'm connecting these points like so. So next I'm going to cut this out. Please, if you have not subscribed, kindly subscribe now so you don't miss out on any of my videos, okay? And I also appreciate your comments. If you have any question whatsoever about this pattern or any pattern I've drafted in the past, you can drop me a comment and I'll be happy to respond to all your questions, okay? And also, the only way I will know you found this video helpful is by liking the video. So just kindly like this video for me, okay? So this is the outcome. Now we're going to also cut lining for this pattern. So I'm going to cut this from this point, okay? I'll cut the both of them. Now this is it. Then for the lining too, I'll cut it the same way. Next, iron on interfacing on the lining piece to make it firm. I've ironed on interfacing to my lining piece, then placing it on the main fabric with the right side facing each other. I'll just align my horsehair. So this is how to sew it. My main fabric is down, my lining piece and the interfacing, then the horsehair braid and the hemming tape on it, okay? So I'm going to stitch it like so, ensuring that I don't stretch the horsehair braid. I'll continue until I've sewn around the flare. Once you've sewn around the flare, you just turn it inside out and iron it in place, okay? By so doing, the hemming tape should stick on your outer fabric like so. So you should have it firm and flat like this. You just split it and set aside, okay? So on our corset piece, after joining the cups, this is what we'll get, okay? So I have just ironed the seams inside and I turned it to the sides and ironed them out properly, okay? So this is what I did. So to achieve this, you have to make some notches around so it will relax and you can firmly iron them. So I got 4 pieces of that, okay? So 2 goes to each cup like so. So I'm going to join these 3 pieces together. These are the side front and this is the center front. We just hold this part and sew them. Then on this side too, I'll hold this part and sew it together. After that, I'll attach my armhole side and sew it as well, okay? Then the other side, I will also attach and sew it. So once I've done all that, I should have something that looks like this, okay? So I'll do that and show you the outcome. So I've sewn all the seams, okay? And I've turned them around and ironed them firmly to reveal the seam line, okay? So next I'm going to pin up the cups to this pattern. So we have to align this ironed seam to this part and pin them in place, okay? So I'm going to do the same on the second cup. I'll attach it there and pin it in place. Then I'll sew this cup around the pattern, okay? So I'm going to sew it like so from this point to that side. When I'm done, I'll show you the outcome. So I've joined all the cups and all the panels together, and this is the outcome. Okay, so this is our front piece. Now I'm going to do the same thing to the back pattern. All right, I've also coupled the back pattern. Okay, so I think I even love this back pattern more than the front. I love the combination, don't you? Place the both of them with right sides facing each other and pin them in place. Okay, I'll pin them like so. Each points to the opposite side of the pattern. Okay, so each side to the opposite side. Okay, same sides pinned together. I'll pin at the bust point. I'll pin this side. I'll pin this. So I'm going to peel all around it. So one quick thing, I ended up trimming out some excess fabric from the back pattern. So once I pin them all up, I'll just sew around the edges. Okay, I'll sew all around it, but I will not sew the waistline because I'll attach my peplum to that point. So let me do that now and show you what it looks like. So I've sewn around all the edges, okay, and I've also understitched around it. Okay, so this is the front and the back. Now I've pinned these points. I've aligned the two seams and pinned them at the under bust, okay, on the both sides. Then the side seam as well, I've aligned it and I'm going to pin them also. Okay, so you align all those points and pin them in place. Then you're going to top stitch on two sides like so. Okay, if you need to use boning, you just attach your boning just in between here. So next I'm going to attach the flare to the waistline. So I've made my pleats on the waistline, as you can see, and I've also top stitched on the cups and to the under bust and to the waistline. Okay, if you look closely you will see that. Okay, so this is what the back looks like. So now to have a clean finish, you can just overlock this waistline, or you can close it up with your bias binding, or even sew it up by folding it, whichever you choose. Okay, so this is the outcome. The final thing to do is just to add my zipper to the back. If you would like to join our Facebook group, it's So Easy Club on Facebook. I'll attach the link on the description of this video, and I'll also attach the link to the pattern of this corset. Let me just add the zipper to the back and I'll show you what it looks like. So this is what the top looks like. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.